stop masturbating before it's too late. Have you ever thought about quitting masturbation and finding real satisfaction in life? If you have, then you are in the right spot. Here, we will discuss the psychology of masturbation and the importance of semen retention. If you liked the video, do subscribe to this channel and press the like button so that this message is shared with a wider community. A lot of young people are wasting their sperm without knowing the consequences. We'll explore the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy and what it teaches us about finding real satisfaction. Most people think masturbation is completely normal, just a part of being human. But even though it's widely accepted, there are still questions: where's the line between okay and too much? How often is too often? These questions are important because they make us think about what might happen if we don't control ourselves. Picture this: someone masturbates regularly, maybe without really thinking about it. But what if this seemingly harmless habit leads to problems? What if it becomes a habit that's hard to break? It might seem scary, but it's a reality we need to face. It is vital to shine a light on the potential risks of masturbation. It is often seen as just a way to let off steam, but it could actually be harmful to our well-being now and in the future. Let's take a journey through time and different viewpoints, looking at masturbation from all angles. In modern times, we see masturbation as a normal part of being human. It's not just us, other mammals do it too, showing it's natural. But if we look back, we see a different story. In the past, people didn't see masturbation the way we do now. It was seen as bad, especially for men who worried that it might mess up their ability to have kids. Women had their own struggles with it too. While it could be a way for them to feel good on their own, society often made them feel ashamed for doing it. This divide led to a bunch of myths and misunderstandings. People thought it could make you sick or morally corrupt. Society was fighting against something that's actually just a natural part of being human. Fast forward to today, and while we're more accepting of masturbation, some of those old beliefs still stick around. Looking back helps us see how our views on masturbation have changed over time. Now let's talk about how masturbation affects sleep, especially for guys who have trouble sleeping. Research from the French Institute of Medical and Health Research gives us some interesting insights. They found that masturbating can actually help guys with insomnia fall asleep. It's all because of how the male brain works after reaching climax. The thinking part of the brain slows down, helping you relax and drift off to sleep. This isn't just about feeling good, though, it's about what's happening in your brain. Masturbation triggers a flood of dopamine, a chemical that makes you feel good. It's like a natural high. But here's the thing: chasing that feeling can lead to addiction. When you're hooked on that dopamine rush, you might keep going back for more, even when you know it's not good for you. And that's where things can get tricky. The DSM-5, a guide used by doctors to diagnose most mental disorders, talks about hypersexuality. It's when someone is overly obsessed with sex, including masturbation. Hypersexuality isn't just about having a lot of sex, it's about not being able to control those urges, even when they're causing problems in your life. When you're caught up in hypersexuality, it's like you're losing control. You might do things you wouldn't normally do, and it can mess up your relationships and your life. Losing control is a big part of hypersexuality. It's like you're being driven by your desires, and you can't stop yourself, no matter what. You're trapped in a cycle of wanting more and feeling bad about it afterward. Hypersexuality doesn't just affect you, it affects the people around you too. If it goes unchecked, it can lead to even riskier behavior, like paying for sex or hooking up with lots of different people. And then there's porn. It's everywhere, and it can make hypersexuality even worse. It's like pouring fuel on the fire, making those urges even harder to resist. When you're hooked on porn, it's not just about sex anymore, it's about chasing that high, no matter what the cost. Hypersexuality shows us how vulnerable we can be to our desires, especially when there are triggers all around us. That's why it's so important to get help and support if you're struggling with it. Our brains are amazing things. They're always looking for ways to make us feel good. And one of the ways they do that is with dopamine. It's like our brain's way of rewarding us for doing something it likes. But when it comes to masturbation, that reward system can backfire. The more we do it, the less satisfied we become, and the harder it is to stop. It's like eating too much chocolate. At first, it feels great, but after a while, you start to feel sick. Or like drinking too much, you just want more and more, even though it's not making you feel any better. So even though masturbation feels good in the moment, it can leave us feeling empty and unsatisfied in the long run. It's a reminder that our brains are complicated, and sometimes what feels good isn't always good for us. Now, let's talk about the most important topic in this whole thing: semen retention. Semen retention is not just a practice, it is a lifestyle choice that can lead to significant improvements in a man's physical, mental, and emotional health. It is the act of intentionally avoiding ejaculation. This might sound challenging or even counterintuitive to some, but the benefits can be astounding. First off, let's talk about energy. Ever feel drained after an orgasm? That's because you're not just losing semen, you are losing vital energy. Semen is packed with nutrients, proteins, and minerals. By retaining it, you keep this energy within you, leading to increased vitality and stamina. Next, focus and mental clarity. Ever heard of the post-nut clarity? Well, imagine having that level of sharpness of brain all the time. Semen retention can help sharpen your focus, making you more alert and improving your decision-making skills. Now, let's look at what Stoicism has to say about all this. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus were all about self-control and finding true happiness. For them, masturbation wasn't just about feeling good, it was about understanding yourself better. It was a chance to learn more about what makes you tick and how to be a better person. By mastering our desires, Stoicism teaches us we can free ourselves from their grip and find true peace and happiness. Denying ourselves pleasure is about finding a deeper, more lasting kind of satisfaction. Stoicism gives us a roadmap for breaking free from our desires and finding real contentment. It's about taking control of our lives and living according to our values, rather than being slaves to our impulses. So when it comes to masturbation, Stoicism teaches us to look beyond the surface and consider the bigger picture. It's not just about what feels good, it's about what's good for us in the long run. Within Stoicism, we find a way to break free from the chains of desire and discover a deeper, more meaningful kind of happiness. It's a journey worth taking and one that can lead us to a better, more fulfilling life. Before ending the video, I want to challenge you: don't just watch motivational videos, take some real action and take responsibility for your life. Give me a promise in the comment section. Write down your promise: I will not waste my sperm. I am taking responsibility for my life. I will focus on my life goals and success. It does not matter how hard it is, I will be the best version of myself. I will read your comments and feature the best comment on our channel.